So we're here today with local landowner Cindy Hildebrand at her prairie planting. Hi Cindy, how's it going?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. So we just have a couple questions about your experience putting in some native plantings. So the first question is, can you briefly just describe yourself and describe your land?
Back in 1988, my husband and I bought a house on an acreage and we started restoring it to prairie. And later we were able to acquire some adjacent land. And now we have a parcel that consists partly of CRP land that's in wetland and prairie. And the rest of the land is a combination of prairies, trees, shrubs, creek, grass, and a few buildings, including our house.
Oh, cool. So what made you decide to install that CRP on your land, and how would you describe the process?
We decided to install it because we wanted to do some wetland restoration, and we knew the NRCS had expertise and knowledge and technical help that we could really use. And we knew the cost share money would enable us to do a better project. The process was great. The NRCS devised a plan that enabled us to do the kind of restoration we wanted within the CRP program. And the FSA and the NRCS were great about walking us through the paperwork, which is kind of intimidating. So we were very happy with the process.
Oh, that sounds great. So besides CRP, what other habitat restoration projects have you done on your land?
We've done prairie on our non-CRP land, and that was fun. We also are lucky enough to own a small oak woodland near our house, and we are restoring that, which mostly consists of cutting down invasive exotic woodies like Asian honeysuckle and treating the stumps and running prescribed fire. It's a long-term project, but we can tell the woodland is getting better for wildlife and for wildflowers.
That's really great. So outside of that, what other benefits have you seen with your wildlife and things like erosion control and water quality?
We are very happy with wildlife here. We are seeing so many kinds of birds, and we're seeing some kinds that we never thought we'd see on our land. We're also enjoying the frogs and the snakes and the occasional salamander, and the pollinators are wonderful. We like the butterflies and the bumblebees especially. And I ran into my neighbor a few months ago, and the creek that runs through our land then runs down through his land. And he mentioned just spontaneously that since we put all the prairie in up here, the water in his creek is clear. He said it used to be muddy, but now it's clear. And we had no idea, so that was wonderful to hear.
Yeah, that sounds great. That just opens up all the possibilities for great restoration and some of the benefits that they provide. And I guess just one last question, what advice do you have to other rural landowners who are interested in maybe installing some CRP or some wildlife habitat?
My best advice would be to gather a lot of information before you make plans and decisions so that you can have the best possible plans and decisions. And I found it very helpful to find other local habitat restoration projects and talk to the people who are doing them and benefit from their experience. I ran into one landowner who told me that he was using seed descended from local prairie remnants because he wanted his project to carry the genetic heritage of local prairies. And I thought that was wonderful and ended up deciding to do it also. So talking to people can give you new ideas that you can use in your own project sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. So thank you for joining us today, and thank you for allowing us to see your beautiful piece of land.
Well, thank you, David.
Yep, thanks.